What's up, guys? Tony here. This video is a follow-up to the last video I did, which was about the golden age of superhero movies. Basically, just as I was filming it, I'm like, hey, this should probably be its own video, also because the other one was running so long. But basically, people have been talking about, for a while now, for many years now. It's like, when is the superhero bubble going to, when is it going to pop? They believe that the superhero movies, their popularity, it's a fad. It has to naturally go away. I'm proposing that it isn't going anywhere. And this is why. We've been on, this ride, I guess, if you want to call it a ride. I'm actually going to argue against myself and say why it's not a ride, but we've been having successful, that's right, we've been having successful superhero movies now since 1999 with Blade. So that's 16, 17 years of successful superhero movies. Even the ones that aren't great still manage to make a lot of money. And basically what I want to talk about is, again, I want to counter the people who say that the bubble's going to burst. I don't think it is. Before we get into that, though, I want to take it back a little bit, because all this talk is kind of reminiscent of the early 90s with comic books themselves. Basically, the early 90s was when comic books were at their, the height of their popularity. That's when the comic book boom happened. Speculators got in there because they figured, hey, comic books, from the past were worth so much money. New comic books are going to be the same. They failed to realize that the reason those comic books were popular and so valuable is because there are few of them left. They, people were throwing them away because World War II, they needed paper and stuff. A comic book is not going to be valuable if you ship a million freaking copies of it. But anyway, we had the comic book boom, and we had the implosion afterwards when people figured out this shit's not sustainable. And the reason I bring that up is because all this talk about the current comic book movie seems like that. It's like, hey, we expect it happened in comic books, it's going to happen in movies. I don't think so. Basically, I think we're at the point now where superhero movies they're ubiquitous. They're just everywhere now. They're part of cinema, and I know a lot of Hollywood snooty asshole caviar eating pieces of let me watch my language, but these people, you see them at the Oscars or Emmys or whatever these stupid ass awards shows are. They're always sneering, making fun of comic book movies because they don't like them. They consider them a low form of art. Meanwhile, it's like, I'm sorry, dude, you're just jealous. You're just flat out jealous. And basically, comic book movies are here to stay because they're now a genre in and of itself. That's like saying, hey, sci-fi is going to go away. Comedies are going to go away. Horror is going to go away. No, they're not. Comic books are not either, because it's just, I would say they're the new form of action movie. And action movies will always be around. People like spectacle. There will always be this thing called summer. People like when when you're off of school, or when you want to just relax in a movie theater during summer. You don't want to see people just talking about some willy-nilly bullshit. You want to see some fucking action. Superhero movies provide that to you. And again, Hollywood is running out. They ran out of ideas decades ago, so they have to mine comic books in order to get these new action movies out there. So there may be a point where comic book movies maybe are not as popular, but I think they'll always be here. I think every single year from now on until the end of time, you'll always have at least 2 or 3 big comic book movies out every year. And the main thing that could mess this up is if the quality starts just dropping. But I don't see that. I really don't see that happening now. I think the reason for that is kind of the reason I talked about before. The people that are making these movies, they grew up with comic books. They cherish them. They want to properly display them, on the big screen. This isn't just some old suit who's like, Superman is popular, make a movie out of him, make money. It isn't like that. The people, the actual artists behind this, they love these characters. They understand them. They want to do them right. So I don't think we're ever going to get to a point where comic book movies are just going to be trash. They're here to stay, and I think it's time that people accept this. This is the new normal now, and it's fine. I mean, other types of movies are still being made. You want your silly little dramas. They're still out there. You want your rom-com or whatever. I don't know. I don't watch these type of movies. Like I've gotten to a point, well, I watch this comic book movies, but if you watch your other genres, they're still going to be out there. You don't need to worry about that. The only thing I can kind of side with the detractors on is the fact that every movie studio wants to be like Marvel now. This is what I mean. Universal Studios, they want to do their own monster movie franchise. Like you saw Dracula Unleashed, I think it was called. Now they're gonna have Victor Frankenstein. They're gonna be tied together. Ghostbusters. They're trying to do something similar to that, where they want to have a shared universe, Ghostbusters Incorporated or something like that. And then I'm forgetting the name of it, but there's another movie, Transformers. They want to have a shared universe because they want that Marvel money, But aside from that, I see the whole superhero thing as a very good thing. And let's face it, the world sucks now. It's really, really bad. Things are just getting worse all the time. I think people need superheroes now more than ever. I mean, this was the reason superheroes became so popular in the first place. World War II, things were going bad. We didn't know how things were going to go. You needed these symbols to inspire hope in you. Now, I think that's what these, heroes are doing now in the movies. They're giving us something to take us away from all these horrible, horrible things that are happening on the planet. And that's good. That's fine. I mean, it's healthy. You can't just dwell on negativity all the time. You need something, to aspire to. But I think it's a little bit more interesting now because the characters themselves, they're more like us. They're darker people than they were originally in the comics. So it's like more people like us trying to overcome these overwhelming odds. And I think, if things continue to go bad in the world, and let's face it, things are probably never going to go well again in the world, superhero movies are probably here to stay because they give us something to aspire to give us hope that there may be a better future if we continue fighting. If we, I guess, I'm at a loss for words here, but basically, if we triumph over our own struggles, we can triumph against exterior problems as well. I think that's what these superheroes are, mean to modern society now. And I think that's why these movies are basically here. So I know I kind of fumbled that last point, but I think you guys get where I'm coming from. All right, so that's all the stuff I had to get out of my head. So I hope you enjoyed this video and all my other videos. Please feel free to, leave comments. I'm not doing this for my site or anything. I'm just doing it just for my own personal enjoyment. But I would like to hear you guys' thoughts on all this because very interesting. Comic books, superheroes, always good stuff to talk about, and I want to engage with you guys. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys another time. Later.